What is going on, fellow web developers? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be building a Vue JS. People keep complaining about the way I say Vue, I apologize. A Vue JS infinite scroller. Now, this infinite scroller is going to be kind of like how Twitter, Facebook, even kind of like how Instagram work. And as you scroll, you will never really notice the rest of the posts, tweets, Instagram posts loading in. They should just start loading in as you scroll. So before you get to the bottom of the page, before you get to that last tweet, that last post on your page, you'll notice if you're on a browser, the scroll bar will just suddenly get smaller and jump up, and that's because it's loaded a bunch more content to actually show the show the user, and that is essentially what infinite scrolling is. So let's get into this video. Okay guys, as you can see, this is the application we're going to be building today. My anime feed, you've got a bunch of different titles here, random text in here. Fairy tale, bleach, and it's just a bunch of titles. But as you can see on the right, you can see this scroll bar. Now it's quite big, but as we scroll, you can see before I even get to the bottom post, the scroll bar jumps back up, and there you go, it's done it again, and it is loading more content. So as I scroll now, I should never hit the bottom of my page. I can just keep scrolling. Look, I have a super scroller. And here we go. So this is going at Mach speed. I'd say probably like bloody lightning fast. Look, although this example is a odd case because I'm not actually pulling from an API, which you normally would. I'm actually generating these random articles and passing them back in a API-like function. So hopefully I should hopefully show you how you can actually bring in some actual posts or explain to you how you can do that as well. But as you can see, we have loaded in a load of posts, and as I scroll, you can see I can just keep loading in more and more. So this is what we're going to build today. So let's move in to our VS Code. Okay guys, as you can see, I have an empty folder here inside Official Studio Code, and I'm going to open up my terminal by pressing Control and apostrophe, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to run Vue create dot, and that's going to create a new Vue instance in this folder. Now if you do not have Vue CLI installed, you can install it by going npm install -g at Vue/CLI, hit enter, and it should install the latest version of Vue CLI. And then once that's installed, you should be able to go Vue create dot and get the same output as me. So let's hit enter and let's see what happens. Do you want to generate the project in the current directory? Yes, we do. So I'm just going to hit enter. I'm going to use Vue 3. However, I'm not going to be really using any of Vue 3's composition API, anything like that. I just like using the latest version just so I'm using it. So I'm just going to hit enter. And now that's going to basically set up a new bunch of packages for us, or a new boilerplate, a new template for us to actually work in. So let's wait until that's done, and I will see you in a moment. Okay guys, as you can see, it's now finished. It's asking us to do npm run surf, which we're not going to do just yet, but we can do it when we feel like starting the surfer. The first thing I am going to actually do is I'm going to go into our source. I'm going to go into our our app.vue, and we're going to delete everything inside of here. We're just going to go in here, and I'm just going to say diff, just an empty diff which says hello world. You know, the default programmer stuff. We're going to delete the hello world and also remove the component. Save. We're going to keep this styling because I'm going to actually use I'm going to change it a little, but we're going to use it a little. So let's go to components, and I'm going to delete the hello world component, and I can delete the whole assets folder because we're not going to be using it. So we're now left with a boilerplate starter app. Let's just do npm run surf, and then we can actually close this, or actually I'm going to need that link. Ignore me. Once this is ran, and we can press alt click on here. There we go. Let's close the old one. You can see we've got hello world. Let's go back. Let's actually just close this down now. So I'm going to start off inside of here. I'm just going to create a header piece. So I'm just going to get the markup done. So in header, we're going to have H1. And inside H1, I'm just going to say my anime feed. Now, obviously, styling isn't such an important thing of this. You can actually use this in any single scenario. Any project where you just want to infinitely scroll, you can use this. So you can style it how you want, and then you can still load anything in however you see fit by following these simple steps. So we're going to have this main here, and this is where our articles go here. So this is where our articles are going to go. So that's this. We're gonna create a component for this to manage these articles. So each article has its own component we can pass through and loop through. So let's leave that there, and then this main will be basically our list for our articles. So that should look good. Let's go back to Chrome, and there we go, my anime theme. And then what I want to do is inside of our styling, we are going to basically, above app, we're going to create an everything tag. And we're just going to say margin 0. We're then going to say box sizing for the box and hit save. That should be good. Now, inside of our app, there's a bunch of stuff here. Now, the first thing I'll do, I want to remove text align. I want to change this to background color, and I actually want to remove the hashtag app and change it to body, because I actually just want to apply it to the actual body. I don't want to mess around with an actual app, targeting an app or anything. We're just going to do it with body. So we've got a margin top here. I'm actually just going to remove this like that, and there we go. I closed the sidebar. That should be fine. We'll keep it open just so it's more center. And then inside of here, inside background, we're going to say min height 100 vertical or VH, padding top 3 rem, and there we go. That should hopefully go. Oh, and we also need to make sure our color can contrast with our background, so we're just going to say Y or hashtag FFF, just like that. And there we go. That should now be our body styled. If we move back into here, you can see it's looking all right. Obviously, there's still, it's a bit off center now. So let's go back in here, and we'll go under, and we'll just get the header. We'll say H1. We'll say text align center. And that's practically it for that part. We don't actually have to do anything else. We do need to go to our header though and say margin bottom 2 rem. This is just going to push the actual articles down. Then in our main tag, we're just going to give it a padding of 0 to rem. We'll give it a max width of 640 pixels and a margin of 0 auto, just like that, just to give it that little extra push. Just so look, this is all the styling we need. We're going simple with styling. We want it to be, we want it to be simple and nice and just look good. So this is why we're going for this. And there we go. So that is just simplistic. Just so you can basically apply this, take this simple list and pull it in your own application however you see fit. So we've got our articles. Now this is where this is where you need to listen for the actual functionality. We're going to basically generate a bunch of posts. So let's create a new component called a post, or I'm going to capitalize that, post.view. Now I'm going to type view, and if you're wondering how I have all these cool looking things and bam, creating a whole template, I have an extension called Futur, V-E-T, it's V-E-T-U-R, just like that. Search it in extensions and you can download it too. It's super useful, super great, and I highly recommend it. Now we're going to create an article in here. Now inside of our article, we are going to have a H2, and this is going to have our title. So I'm just going to say Naruto for now. I'm then going to create a paragraph tag that's going to have a lorem of about 20 in there for now. Oh, don't break. Just a simple. Why are you breaking that down? Why are you being mean? There we go. We'll just save. I actually have. Why are you breaking down? This is why I don't like Prettier. Sometimes Prettier just breaks my text. Like, what is the need? Seriously, I don't understand. We'll just carry on. Don't ignore it. Ignore that breaking down. It's very annoying, but we'll just pretend it never happened. Cool, so that's all we need for our actual article. It's going to be quite straightforward. Now, inside of our export, we're going to bring through a prop, and our props is going to be equal to the anime we're going to be bringing through. So we're going to bring through just an anime which will have a name or a title and a description. And that should be good, but we do need to style this article up. So down here, scroll a little. We're going to say article, and the article will have a background color of EF, just like a light grey, super light grey. We're going to have a border radius of 1 rem, just to give it that small padding, or that small rounded edges. And then we're going to have a padding of 1 rem, 2 rem, just to, it looks good, I promise. Again, style this however you want. This isn't a part story. Any styling is completely dictatable by yourself. There we go. We'll go for that. That's good. We'll go for 2. I don't like random numbers like that. Box shadow, margin bottom, we'll go for 2 rem, because we want them to have space underneath so they can push each other down. And finally, the color will be the hashtag 2C, 3E, and 50. That is the color which is actually here, which we got for default. I kind of like it. It's quite a nice color. And then we just want to go article, H2, and just a margin bottom 1 rem, just so it splits the content. And that's all we're doing for styling. Again, we're keeping it simple. Style it how you wish. Now in here, we're going to need to import. So inside of our script, inside app.vue, we're going to import post from /components/post. And there we go. So that's now come through. Now we need to obviously pass our post into our application. So we're just going to pass it through our components. That means we can now access it here. So I'm just going to say post. So now if we save and we go back, you can see we have this. This is what it's looking like so far. We've got my anime feed and a little box with some text and that in it, which looks really good in my opinion. I think for simplicity, it looks pretty good, especially if you're just listing things out. So there we go. We have that. Now let's go back to our post, and we're actually now going to pass through the anime stuff. So in here, I'm going to split this out, and I'm going to say anime.title. And then for our description, I'm going to say anime.description. Hit save, and that should be good. And that's all we need for this file, so we can actually close that completely. Now, we obviously have to pass through the anime on here. For now, we're just going to leave it blank, and we're going to go and create some functionality. So the functionality we need to create is above components, or put it this way, we're going to create a data thing which says return, and we're going to say anime list. Anime list, which will be an empty array to start with, because we obviously need to pull in the anime from our mock API, which is just going to be a generated list we make. And then that should be fine for that. So let's go underneath components now, and I'm going to write methods. Now we're going to create a method that will actually generate our get anime list. I mean, that would probably work, but we'll just say get anime. And then inside of here, we're going to have, again, we're not using a fetch request. Thank you, Copilot, for trying, but you're not helping. So I'm going to deactivate you globally, just right now, just while I do this so you don't get in my way. Now, I'm actually going to copy and paste some titles over just so I don't write all these out. So we're going to just grab a random anime title from here. Normally, you would run something like fetch or Axios to an API and say get like 10 elements, and then you would return that. But instead, we're going to use a get anime thing to generate random anime quotes or anime things, basically. So we're just going to say const anime is going to be equal to an empty array. And then we're going to loop through. Now, we're going to loop through 10 times. So I'm going to say I is equal to 0. I is less than 10. I plus plus. Oh, hello. I'm pressing all the wrong keys today. And now, inside of our for loop, we just want to say anime.push. And we're going to push an object which will have a title, which will basically be anime_titles with a math. So let's break this down so you can read it properly. We're going to say math.floor, which gives us a whole number. We're then going to say math or floor the number. So if it's, let's say it's 2.8, it will return 2. And then we're going to say .random, and then we will time our random number by anime titles.length. And that way, that will give us a random, oh, that doesn't need that, that needs that. That will give us a random title, that needs a comma. And then we're going to give a description. Now, the description is going to be the same for all of it. We could randomly create one as well. but we'll just go into our post quickly and grab the, oh, I deleted it. I'll just copy some lorem ipsum, don't worry. We'll get a good chunk of lorem ipsum. Here we go. Copy. Bam. And there we go. So there we go. We've got some lorem ipsum in there too. That's how we get our anime. And then we just need to return this anime like an API. So this is like calling get anime from like AnyList or wherever you're getting it from. Or if you're getting just posts, just get posts. However you get that from your API, you will pull it here. So you would replace your get anime with a fetch request or an Axios request to your API. So this is just a dummy API we're creating, essentially. I hope that makes sense and it's not too confusing. Now we're going to create a mounted method. So I'm going to say mounted, which means as soon as the component mounts, we are going to say this.animeList is equal to this.getAnime. So that's going to load us some anime already in there. So let's now see what this does. So up here, we just want to say v for anime and I in anime list. We're going to pass through the key of I. And then finally, we're just going to say anime is equal to anime. And that's going to pass that through. So now if we go back to this, I mean, I don't know why we're getting my anime feed multiple times. I don't. But there you go. We now have 10 different anime. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. Now, I say different anime, but obviously it's random. So we have Naruto twice. I think we have Sword Art Online twice. It's fine. They're fine. I mean, I think actually Naruto is the only double. So that's good. We've got double Naruto. That's fine with me. But yeah, so you can see as I scroll to the bottom, we've hit the bottom. It's no longer loading anything. We're not actually doing anything. So what we need to do is finally create the loader. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to our VS Code, and we're basically going to go to down to our mounted, and we want to just add a window dot add event listener, and we're going to say scroll, and then we're going to pass through this dot handle scroll. And what this is going to do is as we scroll, it will handle the scroll. It will basically, well, you know what it is. It's our function. I don't know why my brain is gone today. We're going to say handle scroll. Oh, and then inside of handle scroll, we're going to say if, and we're going to say window.scroll y, which is obviously the vertical axis. We're going to say plus window.inner height. So that's just going to get our screen. So it's going to check where we're scrolled to. So that the window.scroll y is the top of our window, our browser window, and the window.inner height, we're adding that on so it gets us the bottom of our window view. We're then going to say if that is greater than or equal to document.body.scroll height, which is the maximum height you can scroll to, minus 50, so it gives us a bit of padding, so it will start getting the anime before, or loading in the anime before we actually reach the bottom. We're then going to say this dot anime list is equal to this dot anime list. Wait, why? No, this is just equal to an array, sorry, which is dot 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 this dot anime list. And then we're going to pass through dot 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 this dot get anime. So this might be a bit confusing. So let me explain what's going on here. First off, let's just save. First off, we get the position. So we make sure the window from the bottom of the window is scrolled to about minus 50 off the bottom of the page. And once it's done that, it will load in more. So that's what this is doing. It's saying, get the anime list, add it in the current anime. So all the ones that are already loaded, we're just basically using this three dot notation to say, hey, we're loading in, get the same anime as we had before, but also add this array right here. So this is going to be array. So we're saying dot 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 this dot get the anime we get, which is 10 more. So if this was, for example, if this was your API, you would probably say let or const new anime is equal to this dot get anime. And we'll do this because it makes more sense. And then this would be coming from your your API. So this will be all your new anime, and you would just basically replace that with that. So your array of new anime you get, you append it onto the end of your anime list. And now if we go back to our application and refresh, you can see we start with Dragon Ball. If we scroll, if we just keep scrolling, it never seems to end. And that's because we have just created our first Vue JS infinite scroller. So you can see on the right, this bar will just keep, every time it gets to the bottom, bam, it jumps back up and gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Let me get my super scroller on so you can see it getting smaller quicker. And there you go. It's just going to get smaller and smaller until it physically can't get any smaller. And I'm pretty sure it's hit that limit now. So that is that. So you can see here a bunch of different ones are all loading in, and we scroll all the way back to the top. All the way back to the top. All the way back to the top. This is actually taking quite a while. I'm going to grab this and drag it up. We're back to the top. And now we have a bunch of loaded anime in our infinite scroller. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. And also, if you're feeling really nice, you could also share it with your friends, your other developer friends who may also benefit from this video. So guys, also guys, if you want to join the Discord, if you get stuck in this, you get any issues at all, you get any problems, jump into my Discord server. The link is down below. Give me a shout in one of the help channels, and I will try and help you the best I possibly can. But for now, guys, thank you all for tuning into this video, and peace out.